For sensory training, you will want your horse on a halter or a bridle. You will also need a cue stick and a variety of sensory objects. I like to put sensory challenges into 3 categories. Category 1, sensory items. These are things you see, hear, or smell, and they're just objects like balloons, baby strollers, trash bags, flags, etc. We introduce many of these types of objects to the horse during the Curiosity Shop exercise that is a part of our In Focus exercises. The Curiosity Shop exercise of In Focus is a fantastic way to begin sensory work with objects that we can hold and carry and that we do not need to step on. Category 2, sensory items. These are the things that the horse can see and hear, but they also have to interact with, like tarps on the ground, bridges, elevated objects. These are the types of obstacles that we will address in this DVD. This is why we call this program In Touch, because we will ask our horses to be in touch with many different kinds of things. We want to teach them to allow to be touched by these objects or to touch these items without becoming afraid. Category 3, sensory items. These are the things you can see, hear, or smell, but you cannot touch. Things like spotlights and loud noises and fire and smoke. Many of the sensory items in Category 3 are some of your most challenging sensory items to train, like flares and fire and smoke and blowers. Training acceptance of these types of items come with higher risk. The more challenging sensory items need to be trained with extreme care and diligence, and never without a solid game plan. When you train these items, you should always have an additional competent horse person or professional trainer present to assist you. I will not be teaching the training of these types of items in this DVD. I use 3 training methods to introduce my ponies and horses to various sensory objects. Curiosity Shop is the 4th exercise I teach in our In Focus DVD. This is really a wonderful and fun way to begin to introduce potentially scary objects to your horse. In the In Focus DVD, we teach our horses that the safest place to be is right next to us. Horses are very curious. Once they trust you, they will begin to follow you. They are fascinated by the crazy things we do. We begin to introduce objects in a completely non-threatening way by moving away from the horse, releasing pressure. While introducing these objects, they perceive them as toys, interesting things that are worth further exploration. We won't be detailing this exercise in this DVD, but it is an amazing exercise, one that you definitely want in your toolbox. So check it out in the In Focus DVD of Taji Horsemanship. After having an introduction to Category 1 items with Curiosity Shop, I will begin to work on Category 2 items. These are the items that the horse can see, hear, but must also interact with. There are lots of things that fall in this category that you may not consider sensory items, but they are, like a horse trailer, jumps, and a bridge. I pick a single item to work with. My focus with any of these items is making sure that my horse always knows the way out. If my horse feels safe and secure, they will do anything for you. If not, they're reluctant. Can you blame them? I feel the same way about everything I do. I do some things that others consider scary. Without preparation, they would be scary. I keep my horse safe when training a new Category 2 object by making sure that every movement they make is on command and constantly showing them how to exit, all on command only. We will talk about this at length in a few minutes. Now we're going to talk about sensory courses. Sensory course is such a fun thing to do. Every time we have a camp or clinic, we create a sensory course. You can put anything in a course. Every course is very different. I love doing this with my friends and seeing what crazy things we can come up with. The more your horse experiences, the more comfortable they will become in a wide variety of situations. We will be introducing you to a basic sensory course and how to navigate the course later on in this DVD as well. So let's move to the indoor and get started with some training. We will be starting with an individual object. I thought the two objects I would use are a bridge and a pedestal. I'm going to start with the bridge because less can go wrong. If you are unable to control every step with a bridge, you will not be able to control every step with a pedestal. Everyone seems to enjoy teaching their horse to mount on a pedestal. However, training a pedestal really does require a control of every step because their fear really is justified. A horse can get hurt on a pedestal. The first time you ask your horse to step on a pedestal, they will usually go right up. But once they get up, they don't know how to get down. Once they're up there, if you haven't taught them how to get down, not only is getting down going to make them fearful, but their fear is justified because they could hurt themselves. You want to start training with an object like a bridge. As your skills improve, you can move to a more advanced Category 2 object like a pedestal. So what do you say? We move to the indoor and get started.